Hey guys! I've been watching a lot of shows. I just needed to talk about them, so I'm going to tell you about Camelot, the Tudors, and the movie Anonymous. Because I watched Camelot, the first episode was on TV, and I just had to see all the other episodes. I'm a very impatient person. They didn't want to wait until the rest of the season appeared on television, and I just downloaded the entire series. It's only 10 episodes. There's no second season, and that's too bad because it was a really good show and it's not finished. Not really. Camelot, let me read you what they say on the Stars website because they've described it pretty well. In the wake of King Uther's sudden death, chaos threatens to engulf Britain. When the sorcerer Merlin has visions of a dark future, he installs the young and impetuous Arthur, Uther's unknown son and heir who has been raised from birth as a commoner. But Arthur's cold and ambitious half-sister Morgan will fight him to the bitter end, summoning unnatural forces to claim the crown in this epic battle for control. These are dark times indeed for the new king, with Guinevere being the only shining light in Arthur's harsh world. Faced with profound moral decisions and the challenge of uniting a kingdom broken by war and steeped in deception, Arthur will be tested beyond imagination. Forget everything you think you know. This is a story of Camelot that has never been told before. Of course, when I saw the trailer, I had this urge to watch the entire series because I love historic stories like this, and I've seen the movie of King Arthur, but it's at an older age and it's completely different. And I've seen First Night, which is also about Camelot, but it's every time the story is told from the moment where he's been king for years. Of course, in the movie King Arthur is not really king, but it's always been like the older King Arthur, and this is really the young starting king of Camelot, and that's what made it so appealing to me because I've never seen this story being told before like this. In my eyes, I thought the first 3 episodes were probably the best because I just love romantic stories. Those 3 episodes had the most Guinevere in it, and in this story, spoiler alert by the way, Guinevere's engaged to someone else. In this series, Guinevere is engaged to the king's champion, so he can't marry Guinevere in this story. Of course, he dreams about her, falls in love with her, and just needs to have her, and that happens. And there's a lot of drama because of that, because he betrayed his champion. He's the king, he should be the good example, but he's in love with her and he can't help it. But he doesn't do anything after Guinevere is married, so it's just this big secret of what they did before she was married. And I love like shows like that with romantic triangle relationships, and there's so many secrets in this show, also with his half-sister Morgan, who's also probably known as Morgana in the stories I used to read when she was a witch. And I didn't know she was a half-sister of Arthur, but apparently she is. She is a witch, of course, in this series, and she can shapeshift and she can change her appearance. She's very good at it, and nobody knows she can do this except Merlin, and he tries to stop her, but Morgana's very good and she's playing with dangerous forces, so she needs help from this nun who taught her everything, apparently because she was in a nunnery when she was a child and raised by her. It's very easy to see how it's gonna end, but there's a plot twist at the end and I did not see that coming. Wow. That surprised me a lot, so you can see some part of the ending coming, but there's gonna be a big surprise there. So I really hope they make a second season when the actors actually find a time and they have done their movies and series for other stuff, because I would love a second season, but I want to see the same actors because have you seen King Arthur? Wow, that's Jamie Cambell Bower? I mean, have you seen him? That's nice. He makes the entire movie. He's an amazing actor. My opinion, of course, as a woman. He is gorgeous in my eyes. And yeah, because of that, I went searching for a different series after that, but in the same time span, because I love that age. But there's not that much series about that age, and I found the movie Anonymous, which of course is not of that age, but about Shakespeare. And I found it because Jamie Cambell Bower was playing in it as, well, you'll have to see. That was amazing, and that was about how William Shakespeare wasn't actually a common playwright. He was a nobleman, and they weren't supposed to write plays and stuff like that because it was heresy. He asked a playwright to publish his work, and an actor finds his plays and he just claims them as his plays. They continue like that. It's a shame he could never put his name on those plays because he's written them all, and he can't put his name on any of these plays because his reputation. I recommend you watch this movie because you might be confused in the beginning. I was. And then as the movie goes on, you will get more and more and more. You see a lot of deception, secrets, some terrible people who just want power, and you're gonna have moments when you're watching this movie you want to kill people. Seriously. You want to see some people die, like immediately. Because if they would have died, everything would have been okay. But now there's so much tragedy, so much drama, so much pain. Okay. And then after that I went looking for a series again, and I found the Tudors, which is the time before Anonymous, because that was the time of King Henry VIII, father of Elizabeth, which was the queen in Anonymous. Gorgeous, isn't it? Also a great actor. Jonathan Rhys Meyers stars in this original history-based drama series as the young, vibrant King Henry VIII, a competitive and lustful monarch who navigates the intrigues of the English court and the human heart with equal vigor and justifiable suspicion. Well, this is pretty much about King Henry VIII, his life. Not from the very beginning, but when he was king and he started to marry his first, well, he has his first wife and daughter, and then you see how he remarries again and again and again and again. And if you saw the movie The Other Brilliant Girl, it's pretty much that story, but like even more, every single wife. You see his first wife Catherine, and then him trying to divorce her, well, let the marriage be annulled. Him marrying Anne Boleyn, and then getting a daughter, and then not a son, never a son, and then killing Anne Boleyn because she never gave him a son. So he decapitated her. Then the third wife, Jane Seymour, gave him a son but died in child labor. Then the one after that was just wrong. He didn't like her, didn't sleep with her. Well, gone with her then. She didn't die. She just moved away. And then another wife, really young, 17 years old, although she seems a lot younger than that in my eyes. There's a lot of sex, a lot of fun, but no children, and she sleeps with other men. Well, one man. So, off with her head. The last wife was a widow. She was a little younger than him, but not that much. She was older. Never gave him children though. But his first daughter and his second and his son were plenty. Although he could have used another son, but that didn't happen. So eventually you see from first wife until his death. It's a really good show. So yeah, and then in the end they just tell you how their his children became king and queen, and first, of course, his son at age of 9 became king of England. He was way too young and he died like 6 years later, and then the first daughter, Mary, became queen, but she was very religious and she killed a lot of heretics. She was called Bloody Mary because of all the blood spilled. She was replaced because of her religion, and that's when Queen Elizabeth became queen, and she never married as she promised in this series because she saw her father marry so many times and it ended in disaster pretty much every time, and she didn't want that. But as you can see in Anonymous, she did have a lot of children, but she never married, so they were all bastards. But God, Anonymous was great. If you watch Camelot, you're in the Dark Ages, and when you watch Anonymous, you're in the Golden Ages because of Queen Elizabeth. And then if you watch the Tudors, you watch how Queen Elizabeth has been born and what happened to her father, and it fits, just fits. Of course, after this I considered watching Merlin because that's also Camelot's story. And after that I wanted to try Rome because I watched that once, like a couple of episodes, and I think it was good, and I want to see the entire series because it's again in like Spartacus age, and that was amazing too. All the Spartacus series, I loved those. I even loved all the blood spatters and the effects. I didn't mind those. I thought it was artistic. It was so fake. It was beautiful to me. So yeah. And then after that, maybe, I don't know yet, about the Borgias, or the Borgias, which is Jeremy Irons. It's about the Italy and the Pope and religion and deceit and politics and sex. So who knows, maybe I'll see that. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. So thank you for listening, and I'm sorry for giving so many spoilers, but how can I tell you my story if I don't tell you what happens? I know. Even if you know what's coming, it's amazing show, so they're all great. So if you watch them, great. So